What up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, SoundClick. Your boy Tone 202. What up to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers? How's everybody doing? Donald Gilbert, Supreme, Liz. Yeah, Kill. What's up, everybody? So, everybody is on Lonzo Ball right now because he scored 36 points in the Summer League game. Had a bunch of assists. Some people are throwing out he's going to be the greatest, whatever. My reaction to that is fall back. For one, I already told y'all he's going to get MVP probably in about 5 years. Once he gets his bearings straight. He hasn't even gotten to the real game yet. He hasn't been put under pressure. Okay, let's look at it like this. Remember what happened to LeBron James when he went to the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? He got into, not the playoffs, the championships. He fell apart. And this is the greatest player we've ever seen. He fell apart. He did not show up. Now, some people are going to say, hey, that's because the system told him not to show up, yada, yada, yada. I don't know all that. You know what I'm saying? Do I know the system plays people? Absolutely. Every day, all day. I'm not saying that, Donald, because I know Donald's going to chime in. The system plays. Look, Don, I know that, bro. What I'm saying is, let's just say that LeBron James went in there and actually was trying to give it his all, and he fell to pressure. He, I mean, he just, it's happened before to anybody who's a performer. I mean, it's happened to me. I went into a performance, thought I had my game together, I froze in front of everyone. Okay? I was well practiced, well rehearsed, everything froze. Boom. Dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? These guys are only human. You know what I'm saying? It can happen to anyone at any given time or any given Sunday. Trust and believe. And it will. I'm trying to make sure mosquitoes ain't biting me. And it will. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have yourself a well made up plan. It just doesn't go your way. You have everything pointing in your direction for you to succeed. And then, I mean, we've seen it over and over and over again. We've seen it in pro sports. We've seen it just in our everyday lives. Like, man, this person has everything going for them. Boom. You know, valedictorian, boom, fall by the wayside. Now, where's your valedictorian? Doing zero. I'm just saying. So we have Lonzo, who has all this potential. You know what I'm saying? His father constantly talking him up. You know what I mean? His father constantly telling everyone how great his son is. I gotta say this: I don't like LeVar Ball, but I love the confidence he builds in his children. And you know, if any of you know anything about legacy, that's what this man is trying to do. Now, I'm not on his side when it comes to talking about other people's family, the way he talked about, he mentioned LeBron James' kids, even though he was right, it wasn't in his place to mention them. I don't like the fact that, he talked about how Dwayne Wade's father wasn't there, Katie's father, and all these other fathers wasn't there. LeVar Ball is not a strong father because he's fathering. It's what he's supposed to do. So I don't look at him and go, yeah, you're the epitome of father. I'm like, you need to shut up sometime. Nonetheless, the confidence that he exudes in his children is tangible. You can see the results of it. You can see how Lonzo is like, even when he's around his dad, he just lets his dad do all the talking. He doesn't negate what his dad says, nothing. He just like, because the pro of it is I'm in the NBA and you're not. The con of it is everybody's coming at you. Everybody scrutinizes you. But I'm in the NBA. I'm worth 5 million just on the floor. Without that, I'm worth 2 million just from my shoe sales. I mean, so it's success all day. I mean, LeVar Ball is breeding success in this man. Now, as far as the game, the summer league, okay, we know the best of the best aren't in the summer league. You know what I mean? We know this. However, it's still the NBA summer league. You know what I'm saying? It's not exactly at the crux of the sport, but nonetheless, it's pretty high up there. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're going to have some of those players who aren't going to do anything because of injury or whatever. Some of them are just, you know, we won't even know that they were there next year. We won't even know. And LeVar Ball has not shown up before. Not LeVar Ball, but Lonzo has came to a game and not done too well. So I'm just telling people, fall back on the greatest, this, that, and the third. Now, I give it to the man, and I said this before. He's going to be like a Jason Kidd. We already seen what he can do when it comes to looking down the court, and we seen how the team responds to his ability. Is he going to be a leader? Absolutely. Absolutely. He's going to be a leader. He's going to be a floor controller. I sound like Skip Bayless. He's going to be a floor controller. There's no doubt about this. And there is look, there's a lot of potential in this young man to say that he can break some records when it comes to certain statistics. Scoring, no. 3 points, absolutely not. Assists, all day. And he's working with the assist king, Magic Johnson. So, yeah, I'm down with Lonzo when it comes to that, and I like his shoes. I'm just not going to pay $4.95 for them, but I actually like them. Uh, Now I'm not riding him, and I don't want his nuts or anything. Before any of y'all say that, I was never against him. I was always telling his father to be quiet, but his father doesn't listen to anybody, even to me. But as far as Lonzo is concerned, yeah, I was always like, okay, let's see what he can do. And now that I'm seeing the stuff that he can do, I'm like, yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen that fast. Now, somebody threw out a prediction in 2 years he'll be MVP. Not going to happen. The first thing that Donald's going to ask me is, why not? And I'm going to tell Donald the same thing I usually tell him. I just got a hunch. Now, for the last 2 years that I've been predicting NBA and NFL games, I've been right. You can go check the history. That's why I always make a video of it before it actually happens. I'm like, this is what I think is going to happen. I think this person's going to get injured. I think, this person's going to, do this in the third. And it happens because it's all a script. It's not like I can see the future. It's a script. And once you study the play, once you see the same thing happening over and over again, when you get to these teams that are in the not necessarily the championship, because you can get a team that isn't doing nothing like the Sixers, and next thing you know, people are talking about the Sixers. It's like, why? One, ad revenue. I always focus towards the money, and usually that comes from either somebody is buying into the team, they done bought a bunch of stock in the team, uh, like say the president, because he's thinking about it, Obama, he's thinking about it. Boom, next thing you know, you're talking about the team that he's thinking about. Or either an apex player goes there. We all know this happens because of the draft. They get the first, second, or third pick, or they're in the first round. So you see who goes to what team in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, that team is starting to get focused, and focused on. It's not necessarily that they're going to do anything within the game this year. It's just that, boom, now we're looking at them. Now we have them in the back of our heads. Next thing you know, a year later, they got two apex players. It's just like, okay, they done won 30 games. They done won 35 games. It's just like, that's still nothing to shout about. But nonetheless, when you see the system and how it's being built, you're like, you know what? In 3 years, the Sixers are going to be in the first round of the playoffs. And boom, that's exactly what happens. It's all a script. You just got to look at the waves, the waves of finances, the waves of the draft. Just look at the way things go. You know what I'm saying? They might not even they might not do nothing for 3 or 4 years, but next thing you know, you're talking about them. Why? Because there's potential, and that's just the way it is. And some of you say, well, that's the way it's supposed to be because of the draft. Well, that's not necessarily true because how many of you focus on Cleveland football? See what I mean? But who they had? They had Ricky. You know what I'm saying? They had Manziel. They had RG3. And look at what happened now. All that gone. You ain't talking about them no more. We don't even think they have the potential to get into the playoffs. So it doesn't always work like that. But back to Lonzo Ball. Uh, Lonzo Ball playing for the Lakers. Um, Listen, the Lakers are a shattered team right now. They're just they're building from the ground up. They're just a bad organization right now, but they have mad, mad, mad potential. You gotta understand, the Lakers aren't broke. This is not a this is not a team that nobody knows about. This is not Milwaukee. You know, this is not Washington. Okay, this is not a team that hasn't won a playoff or a championship in 25 years. We're talking about the Lakers. All right, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, Kareem. These are the Lakers. How long do you think that they're going to be in that position? All right. So I just wanted to put that out there as far as Lonzo Ball is concerned. Uh, will they be great again? Absolutely. Are they going to win another championship within the next 10 years? You better believe it. You better believe it. I give them 6 years. Lakers win the championship. Well, wait a minute. Okay, who did I predict this year? I had Cleveland this year. I had I had the Spurs next year, and I had let's see, Cleveland, the Spurs, uh, Golden State's gonna win another one, but there's a mix up there. So I'm going Cleveland, Golden State, Spurs. I'm just throwing out. I'm kind of conflicted. So I'm just gonna say Cleveland, Golden State. Then they're gonna have to break up that hierarchy there. They're gonna have to break up those two monsters. We all know that LeBron is gonna leave Cleveland, and I'll about that on my next video. So I'm going Cleveland, maybe Golden State, third the Spurs. Spurs are in there somewhere. Once Leonard gets healthy, or once they stop telling him to fake his injuries, whatever Donald Gilbert tells them to say. And then, of course, I'm going to Celtics, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw in the Lakers within 5 years. So that's just a loose prediction because I don't know how much they're going to dilute Golden State. Right now, you can't beat them. You can't touch them. They have a strong bench and they have a strong five, and they're young. They're well rested. You're not going to get a bunch of 33, 34 year olds to go out there and run with them. They'll just run right around you, and they're just it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to get a younger team with old management. And I don't mean management as in guys running around in suits. I mean people on the court controlling the game, like a LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need that type of thing. As far as Indy and George is concerned, or Chicago, any of the, I just can't see them doing anything anytime, especially Chicago. I can't see that happening anytime soon. They're just they're just in disarray. Um, Dirk Nowitzki, I just can't see anybody else right now doing anything besides these one, two, three, these three teams right now, which is Cleveland, Golden State, and the Spurs, and then maybe the Celtics, and then maybe the Lakers. I'm sorry, Toronto. It's just not gonna happen. Toronto, you're always going to be the play cousin. I'm sorry, but the ad revenue that's gonna go into Lonzo Ball is gonna be ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. I'm gonna tell you. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Y'all heard it here first. They're going to find a way to do either one or the other with the Ball family. Now y'all ain't gonna like this, and this is what Donald Gilbert. He's gonna be writing me all kind of stuff because he's a conspiracy theorist, and I don't mind that at all. You know what I'm saying? I read all your comments. I just might not be able to respond to them because I got crazy stuff to do. But this where Donald is gonna be like, heck yeah, Tone. They're gonna find either one or the other to do with the Ball family, with Lonzo, and then maybe his brother coming in, but especially Lonzo. They're either going to remove